Convention.
So they all go out there to just go back in.
I guess.
Josh. I only read one book, but it's a good book, don't you know? Tells me so. If I want to know how to be good, it's to the good book that I go. Because the good book is a book, and it is good, and it's a book.
You can move down one. Thanks.
I know the good book's good because the good book says it's good. I know the good book knows it's good because a really good book would. You wouldn't cook without a cookbook, and I think it's understood. You can't be good without a good book because it's good and it's a book, and it is good for cooking. I tried to read some other books, but I soon gave up on that. The paragraphs ain't numbered and they complicate the facts. I can't read Harry Potter because they're worshipping false gods and that. Dumbledore's a poster, and that's bad because it's not good. Morality is written there in simple white and black. I feel sorry for you heathens, got to think about all that. Good is good and evil is bad, goats are good and pigs are crap. You'll find which one is which in a good book, cause it's good, and it's a book, and it's a book.
Welcome everyone. Before I start the official ceremonies for this evening, if some of you are not familiar with formal church goings on, such as Catholicism, which is what I was brought up in, we'll do a couple practice call and answers. So I will say something and you'll say something to the likings of, and they will be displayed on here if you're not familiar. You'll say something like, and also with you. So if I say, may the force be with you, and also with you. Perfect. Begin. In the name of the beaker, the Bunsen, and the Erlenmeyer flask.
Amen.
Excellent. The science be with you.
And also with you.
Science Almighty, discoverer of all life, of body and brain, we ask you to power this hairdryer. As we use it in knowledge, forgive our fashion faux pas, and save us from all wet hair and the power of split ends. Grant this through science, our tools.
Amen.
Repeat after me once again. Beaker, hold knowledge.
Beaker, hold knowledge.
Bunsen, hold knowledge.
Bunsen, hold knowledge.
Beaker, hold knowledge.
Beaker, hold knowledge.
Let us know. Let us know that knowledge is derived by observation, experimentation, and rational analysis. Let us know that humans are an integral part of nature, the result of unguided evolutionary change. Let us know that ethical values are derived from human need and interest as tested by experience.
Praise be to science!
The first reading of tonight will be from the book of Sagan.
Brendan, I sent this in an email. I might get to it.
I have it open in a note.
Okay. First reading from the book of Sagan, written by Dr. Arrow in Carl Sagan's, or spoken by Dr. Arrow in Carl Sagan's content. The major religions on earth contradict each other left and right. You can't all be correct. And what if you're all wrong? It's a possibility. You know, you must care about the truth, right? Well, the way to win out through all the differing The way to win out through all the different contentions is to be skeptical. I'm not any more skeptical about your religious beliefs, than I am about every new scientific idea I hear about. But in my line of work, they're called hypotheses. not inspirations and not revelations.
Amen.
Okay. Second reading from the book of Sagan is from Carl Sagan in his article in the Valley of Shadow Parade magazine, and also in Billions and Billions. I would love to believe that when I die, I will live again. That some thinking, feeling, remembering part of me will continue. But much as I want to believe that, and despite the ancient and worldwide cultural traditions that assert an afterlife, I know of nothing to suggest that it is more than wishful thinking. The world is so exquisite, with so much love and moral depth, that there's no reason to deceive ourselves with petty stories for which there's little good evidence. Far better, it seems to me, in our vulnerability, is to look death in the eye and to be grateful every day for the brief but magnificent opportunity this life provides.
Amen.
Think you better die.
The second different reading of tonight will be from the book of Neil deGrasse Tyson. Please drop it.
Why not? All right. Our reading from the Word of Tyson. It was. What? My turn? I will bite your ear off.
Amen.
It was not a priority of mine to communicate science to the public. What I found was that enough members of the public wanted to know what was going on in the universe that I decided to stay to get a little better at it so I could satisfy this cosmic curiosity. Dr. Tyson said as he commented to the public, as his comment goes to the public beyond astronomy, into the realm of science literacy at large. Tyson says, "It's essential that as many Americans grow up to be scientifically literate as possible. Innovations in science and technology are the drivers of economic growth and have been since the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. By and large, where I have a goal in this, it would simply to foster science literacy, learning how to think rather than what to think." He said the process of learning to think ideally should begin in childhood and be letting children explore. Tyson goes on, "Kids are born scientists. They're born probing the natural world that surrounds them. They'll lift a rock up, they'll pick up a bug, they'll pull petals off a flower, they'll ask you why the grass is green and the sky is blue. And they'll experiment with breakable things in your house. I think the best thing a parent can do when raising a child is simply get out of their way. The result? It might mean they break a dish someday, because they're experimenting with how the dish rolls down the corridor. But they'll learn something about how fragile something as brittle as glass can be. There's a lesson there. Yeah, you'll break a dish, so you buy a new dish, and you say, well, that can be costly. But, as Derek Bach, who was the president of Harvard, once said, if you think education is costly, look at the cost of ignorance. He said it was vital to give children a space to explore. I think that exploration can become a fundamental part of what a growing child requires to become a thinking member of society."
Amen.
Science be with you.
And also with you.
A reading from the Unholy Gospel according to Dawkins. Priestly abuse of children is nowadays taken to mean sexual abuse, and I feel obliged, at the outset, to get the whole matter of sexual abuse into proportion and out of the way. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. The adage is true as long as you don't really believe the words. But if your whole upbringing and everything you have ever been told by parents, teachers, priests, has led you to believe, really believe, utterly and completely, that sinners burn in hell, it is entirely plausible that words could have more long-lasting and damaging effects than deeds. I am persuaded that the phrase child abuse is no exaggeration when used to describe what teachers and priests are doing to children whom they encourage to believe in something like the punishment of unshriven moral sins in an eternal hell. Jill Mitten was brought up to be terrified of hell, as some of us were as well. Escaped from Christianity as an adult, and now counsels and helps others similarly traumatized in childhood. I think back to my childhood. It's one dominated by fear. And it was the fear of disapproval while in the present, but also eternal damnation. And for a child, images of hellfire and gnashing teeth are actually very real. They are not metaphorical at all. And so, we are gathered here tonight for a singular purpose, neither to bow our heads in submission, nor to close our eyes to the background radiation, nor to close our cochlea to the sound of interstellar silence. This singular purpose, a rare occurrence among non-believers, I might add, is to celebrate our transcendence of the metaphysical, the neo-spiritual, and the wet head a priest gave some of us as children. But I digress. However, with our hairdryer, statures taller, I should say statures taller for some, and prefrontal cortices more fully developed, we are here to reverse this right forced upon us beyond our choosing with a right of equal cosmological importance. Through this act, we formally renounce the imposition of intellectually indecent ideologies upon our childhood neural networks, the subsequent implantation in our own daughters and sons, and the act of priests getting our heads wet. Let us know we are free, we are dry.
Amen. Amen.
You may now raise your hand if you actually grew up Catholic.
Or you may grow up like you were baptized or actually.
Yeah.
Or baptized in any religion. Wonderful.
I think pretty much everyone was baptized.
This is the hairdryer which takes away the childhood indoctrination of the world. Say, happy are those whose locks are moved by it. Happy are those
Whose locks are moved by it.
Thank you. You may line up if you wish to be debaptized.
Please know it's me. There's a really room
Oh, right, there's a table there. I didn't see that.
We should have a baptism right here. And then they
That's all.